For several weeks, we've talked about the Allen Band. The prototype for the device is being developed. Our guest wants to do something special for those in need. Thor Schrock returns to compute this. Good morning, Thor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. This has been an exciting journey to follow.
It has.
So I think maybe we should start with this crowdfunding situation. You've reached your goal, so what's next?
All right, so basically we wanted to raise $22,750 to reach our goal. We reached like 85% of that within the first week.
Remarkable.
That doesn't happen in crowdfunding unless you're on fire with an idea. We have orders from the UK, pre-orders for the Allen Band. We have orders from Australia. We have orders from Canada and Germany. So I mean, you can imagine, you know, that's Indiegogo. That's the power of crowdfunding. We said, go look at the page. Just go look at it, and you can go look at it again and help us out even more.
And to me, that says this is needed everywhere.
That's right.
It doesn't matter where you're from. We all have people in our lives that we could think about and say they could use that device. Remind us about the concept, and then we'll talk about everything else related to the Allen Band.
All right, the Allen Band is a stylish device that you wear on your wrist. It looks kind of like a fitness tracker, like a Fitbit or a Microsoft Band. And what it's designed to do is, rather than track your activity, which all these bands that count our steps and they do all this other stuff, we want to monitor the lack of activity. Because when my dad fell in May and spent 24 hours on the floor, if I would have been alerted that he was immobile, I could have found him in like 4 hours instead of 24 hours. It would have made the difference between a 4-month recovery between hospitals and rehab and everything else. In his case, you know, they gave him a 33% chance of surviving after the fall. So he almost died. And you can imagine, you know, if this device was worn, he wouldn't have been, you know, in the valley of the shadow of death. He wouldn't have had 4 months of rehab. He would have had some facial injuries. He'd have been in the hospital for a few days, and they'd have sent him back home again. And he recovered, but not everybody is so lucky. Lots of people, it's the leading cause of death among seniors. You know, 1 in 3 seniors fall every year, and fall-related injury kills more seniors than anything else, more than heart attacks, more than cancer, more than old age, more than anything.
And time is so important to be able to respond quickly. As you were saying, 4 hours compared to 24 hours in your dad's case.
That's right. And my dad's also a cardiac patient. He's got a bad heart, so we included a heart rate monitor, because I built this for my dad.
Yes.
I said, I want to put in the sensors that are going to help my dad. So if his heart rate goes over 120 beats a minute for, let's say, 20 minutes, I want to receive an alert. And the alerts are all customizable. Each person can customize them for their mom or dad and whatever they think is important. And so I'll get an alert because he can't feel when his heart goes out of rhythm. And so if it's out of rhythm, I'll call him, how you feeling, Dad? Oh, I'm feeling a little weak today. That's because your heart's out of rhythm, Dad. You're in arrhythmia. You're in you know, we need to get you in to get you
Go
paddled.
see the doctor,
you know?
or in an emergency situation, you could call an ambulance if you started to see some of those numbers getting to dangerous levels. So with this campaign, I want to hear where we're at now. So if you've reached this first goal, then we kick into another phase, which is what? All
right. Well, basically, we've reached the initial funding goal. That means the way it works is at the end of the campaign is going to go till October 31st, and then 15 days after that, Indiegogo distributes the money. So we have to wait another month or so before we're going to get the funds from this, but that doesn't mean we're sitting on our laurels and waiting. We've already wire transferred the money to the factory to get started on the IDMD process, which is internal design and materials design. They're going to give us 3 different distinct looks for the Allen Band, and we're going to post those on the Indiegogo page as an update, so you can come back and tell us which one you like best. 3 different styles, so that way you get to have some input in how it's going to look, and of course how it'll feel and things like that. But there's been a couple other developments as well. We're going to introduce what's called a stretch goal. The stretch goal, I called the factory and said, can we get this, say, can I have a functioning prototype by December 31st?
You wanted to speed it up because you realized that people wanted this device as soon as possible. But if this first phase takes forever, and then by the time you get into mass production, and that takes forever, so what did the factory say about speeding it up?
They quoted us 6 to 8 months to get the first prototype, and they were able to commit to a December 31st prototype. Because I asked them 2 questions. If money wasn't an object, can you get me one by December 31? And they said yes.
Okay, money is an
object.
Money
is an object. So how much will it cost? They said $17,000 more.
Wow.
The other nice thing about this, though, is we had 2 amazing invitations that came out of the blue. CE, the organization that runs the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, CES.
The biggest show in the world.
Yeah, it's the holy grail for tech stuff. $150,000 to have a booth at CES. $1,000 a day for internet at CES. I mean, it's insane. The company that organizes that is giving away 3 booths to companies that are designing the next big wearable device for seniors. How many of these could there possibly be, right? So we entered. The only trick is we have to have a prototype by January 1
my
to
gosh.
take to CES. It has to be functional.
So that's why you're pushing hard right now.
That's
Even though you've reached that first goal, you need to make up that extra money to get that prototype done by December 31st to then present this at CES.
That's right. So we've added a couple perks. We have an Allen Band t-shirt you can get for $25, and for $35 you can get an Allen Band awareness band that you can put on. And if you've already donated to the campaign, thank you so much for that. It was amazing, all the contributions. We had contributions from $1 all the way up to $600, and they all came together to make this happen. Now, if we can raise this next $17,000, not only will we get this device 3 to 4 months faster than we would have, which means all the people who thought they were going to get it in December, if we raise this money, guess what? It pushes it forward 3 months. Everybody who thought they were going to be a prototype tester in June, guess what? In March, you're now a prototype tester. It moves everything up. Now, the second thing is Mark Burnett is an amazing reality show or competition show. He doesn't like being called reality show. Competition show producer. He makes Survivor, Shark Tank, The Apprentice, The Voice, all that stuff. Intel is teaming up with him to produce a new show based around the Intel Curie processor. It's a brand new chip that's coming out for wearables. It would reduce the weight and the size of the Allen Band by about 70% if we can use that chip. But we got to get on that game show.
This is all so crazy.
Yeah, we already made the first cut. And that's what blows my mind. So if we make all these cuts and everything, and this is kind of a big dream, but if we get there, Intel not only gives you the chip for your device, but they also help you take your device to market, which means if we raise this $17,000, so we have a prototype, this could be the difference between us distributing it from the allenband.com and shipping worldwide to being the poster child for Intel's new processor with an international, worldwide following and saving lives on every continent on Earth with the Allen Band. If you'd have said 6 months ago that was possible,
you wouldn't have believed it. And look where we are now. October 31st, that's the last date to get in to be part of this crowdfunding campaign that's happening right now for the Allen Band. You can go to Facebook and search The Allen Band up in your search bar, and you'll be able to learn more about the device there, and then link back to Indiegogo to support what we think is a terrific idea. Thor, thank you for being here.
TheAllenBand.com, click on the contribute button, takes you right there.
So easy. Keep us posted.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Thor. And we're back in less than 3 minutes.